It's in the ground!
Don't just stand there! Guards, get the townspeople to safety!
Thanks for dropping by to watch me play Skyrim Anniversary Edition for the first time. I've played Skyrim for many years on Xbox 360, though I was curious at what new quests, characters, artifacts, and items awaited my discovery. So I'm role-playing a character who only is known as Gozen's Love. As Gozen's Love, I'm a Nord who had a wife. We were both attacked by my cousins, who allowed themselves to be transformed into vile creatures, lusting after what dark prospects the Daedric princes teased them with. They killed my wife and attempted to kill me, though I managed to stave them off. I found help, though it was too late for my wife, and I was accused of her murder. My cousins could return for me at any time, for who knows what reasons cloud their once sane minds and caring hearts. I fled to Skyrim in the hopes of joining the Vigilants of Stendarr and learning what they may teach me. I hope to develop Daedra destruction prowess enough to take on my cousins if they find me again. Or, worse, if I manage to find them first. There was no time to waste in my quest to ensure others don't suffer a fate such as mine and my wife's. I braved the harsh colds and frosty winds on my way to the Hall of Vigilance.
The suffering that you speak to a Vigilant of Stendarr. Cavort with any Daedra, and we will hunt you down. Stendarr be with you.
The mercy of Stendarr does not extend to Daedra worshippers. Yes. Stendarr be with you.
I entered and found a woman named Carsette to be the head of the Hall of Vigilance.
The mercy of Stendarr does not extend to Daedra worship.
She had received a letter that would lead to an investigation, my first assignment as a Vigilant of Stendarr's.
Carsette, I've received your letter about the sudden disappearance of our patrols in the Pale. The news is troubling for sure. My old partner Fenrik was among them, and he was not only a Vigil enforcer, but the finest warrior I knew. For him to be missing is no small thing, but perhaps fate has conspired for these events to happen, so that I may repay the life debt I owe him. I will leave for Dawnstar in the morning and take a room at the inn. If I learn anything, you will be the first to know. Stendarr's mercy be with you. AzaRain.
The Vigil will be watching you.
Walk always in the light, or we will drag you.
I need to travel to the Windpeak Inn and see what I can find out about the missing Vigilance patrol near Dawnstar. Since I am somewhat new to Skyrim, I'd have to consult a map one of the Vigilants offered me, and I was well on my way. My first steps in a long journey to hopefully gain the skills and knowledge I need to take down my cousins and clear my name.
I assure you that it is quite normal.
It's the same dream over and over again. You think that's normal? It's evil, I tell you.
Erandur, she has a point. You keep telling us no harm will follow these dreams, but they must be an omen.
Give him a chance to speak. He's trying to help us.
Everyone, please. I'm doing what I can to end these nightmares. In the meantime, all I ask is you remain strong and put your trust in Lady Mara.
I will. Thank you.
So it seems Dawnstar has its own strife. The innkeeper was kind enough to point the way to AzaRain's room where he stayed. Well, what do we have here? Meet me at the Windward Ruins tonight. I have information. Come alone. Looks like AzaRain received a little letter from an unknown informant that seems to know what he was doing here. So I'll ask around the town, find out where these Windward Ruins are, and then hopefully find more clues there as to what's going on in this matter. This could be a trap, so I'm cautious. Either way, I gotta get to the bottom of this, so down into the ruins we go. Looks like this was a trap, except one for unfortunate AzaRain here, than one for me. I take this armor, as he won't need it, and it's better than my own. I also keep the journal AzaRain had on him, which I'll read at a safer distance from the isolated ruin where he was murdered for whatever he was uncovering. I'll head to Whiterun. I hear there's a wizard there that can teach me more than the basic spells I already know. I can get some rest and gear up, maybe improve a few things to be ready for whatever awaits me the deeper I get into this investigation. I hope I have the mettle to not be the next victim in whatever is happening to warrant the death of us Vigilants of Stendarr. Farengar seems decent enough. His skills support the confidence that his arrogance is wrapped in, though there were moments I wanted my hands to be what his neck is wrapped in. After preparing for what could come next, I go to the local tavern to find some good sleep, yet meet with a few fists to the face that belongs to a woman named Uthgerd the Unbroken.
Want to hear a little Nord wisdom? You don't really know a woman till you had a strong drink and a fist fight with her. Come on.
We have a dance with our fist before she offers to aid me in my mission.
I'm getting out of here. Damn you.
She could be the first friend in this new life of mine. It's a good thing she has a taste for battle, as she'll be accompanying me into only the divines know what. So, I figure this is as safe a place as any to read AzaRain's journal.
The investigation has moved slowly, but that was to be expected. The townsfolk have their own problems, and few pay any mind to the fate of Stendarr's chosen. I will write what I've pieced together so far, in hopes it provides some clarity. From what I've gathered, Fenrik came to Dawnstar to investigate rumors of Daedra worship. There was some thought that this cult was the source of the town's recurring nightmares, although it's unclear how much of that is true. Then one night, Fenrik disappeared, without a word to the innkeeper or anyone in town. It was then that other patrols started to go missing, also without a trace. Of leads I have one. The other day the innkeeper found something curious behind the inn, in the midst of emptying the trash. It was an elven dagger, its blade warm with blood and upon further examination, tipped with poison. The craft of the blade can mean many things. Perhaps this Daedric cult is elven in origin. Moreover, elven weapons are fashioned from quicksilver, and there is a mine in close proximity. The poison too could have originated from a nearby source. It's also likely that our murderer moves at night, when the eyes of the town are blind to their heathen worship. As such, I suspect 3 individuals as possible owners of the blade. Verith the elf, who complains of the cold and yet seems resolute in staying. Harold the miner, who works the ore from which the murder weapon was fashioned. Lastly, Irene the traveler, who seems to know more about alchemy than the proprietors of the pestle. All 3 seem to be active in the small hours, but I can only follow one at a time. Still, doing so will prove useful, as they will either lead me to their place of worship or eliminate themselves as suspects. But first, I must meet the writer of this note. Perhaps they know more about the dagger, or have information that can narrow down my search.
I don't know if the nightmares plaguing Dawnstar are related to these vigilant patrol killings, but after some sleep, I'll return to Dawnstar and follow those AzaRain named and see where this all leads. 2 of the 3 AzaRain mentioned seem to be here at the Windpeak Inn. According to locals, Harold will come here after his work at the mines are done for the day. Uthgerd and I will keep our eyes on these 2 and maybe see if we can find anything suspicious on their persons.
This is a local favorite. One of the first songs I ever learned. Ragnar the Red. Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed. And so then came slashing of steel as the
These 2 seem to engage merriment so far as the night has passed. Occasionally they'll sit down together or at different tables.
when his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
Verith entered a room at this inn for a brief time before returning to song and dance with AzaRain. Do they revel in drunkenness and song before venturing into the dark to offer sacrifices to their Daedric master?
Then he went quiet, did Ragnar the Red.
Is but one of them the killer, or are they all part of a larger Daedric gathering together? Only time will tell.
Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed. And so then came clashing and slashing of steel as the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal. And the braggart named Ragnar was boastful no more when his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
Watching from afar, Uthgerd and I waited until finally our 3rd man arrived.
Aye.
The man who works at the mine where the ore from which the bloody elven dagger was crafted, AzaRain said, has bloody rags and a dagger on him. Very suspicious indeed.
Are you playing hide and seek?
You might say that I am, child. You might say that I am.
Yes, I haven't got all day.
Harald now sits in the room Verith had earlier. Could this be a signal for something? Are they leaving things for each other to find when they think no one is looking? What are they up to?
I'm sorry. My mind was just somewhere else. Do you need a room? Drink?
They're all in the same room. I can watch them from this vantage point.
Oh, you need a room.
But wait a moment. Where's Harald going? He's going into the same room that Vareth was at and sitting in the same chair Vareth was. This is highly suspect. I do believe they could be in on this together. Whether this is actual proof or not, I need more. Let's continue to watch and hope for more answers. Things are definitely getting more interesting. I hope one of them leaves so we can see where they go after this. And hey, looks like they'll be leaving sooner than expected. At least one of them is left. I will follow her. AzaRain. Still following AzaRain since she left first. I'll have to catch up to the other ones another time. Uthgerd and I seem to be the only ones following her. Where could she be going in such a snowy field of danger before dawn? Perhaps an isolated cave or more ruins where AzaRain was slain and left to rot. There looks to be some type of structure on those rocks. Could it be more ruins? Is she going to meet with others, or is what she doing a sole action of hers alone this day night? Will I get to slay an unholy creature, or shall I encounter the end of my new life at the claws of some foul Daedra? She is a worshipper, and this is a shrine, but not to any Daedra. She's an Daedra worshipper. This looks like a shrine to Debella. Either this is a ruse, maybe she knows that I was following her, or she's not with the others. Or this just isn't a night that she's going to be engaging any Daedric activity. I'll hunt down the others and see what pieces of this puzzle they offer. I wonder, who could this be? It's Vareth, on the edge of town, this time of night. In these dangerous times with Skyrim going through a civil war and bandits everywhere, what is he up to? I do wonder, especially so far away from Irine. Alas, another structure of some sort. Where am I being led? Is that the place he goes to work his unholy magic to keep Dawnstar tormented with nightmares? I continue to be taunted with ideas of my possible demise at the hands of nightmarish beasts or hordes of some cult where no one but those very killers can hear my death howls. I know where he is at for now, so I want to check in on Harald the Miner and see what mine eyes may spy. If nothing of note, then Uthgerd and I shall visit Vareth here once more.
I mostly deal with technical and dropping rolls. They're too long to do that.
And what's this? Baral is in the mine while everyone else in town sleeps, dreaming their horrible nightmares? Is it a strong work ethic or some deeper, darker craving that drives him to be here now? What? He vanished at a dead end? Wait, what's this? Oh, this gets more interesting. Something is not right here. By the nines, this is worse than I could have imagined. Looks like I won't be needing to revisit Vareth, as he and AzaRain do not seem to be part of this cult. Harald must guard the entrance here by working the mines during the day.
Let's go.
Perhaps, yes. We should leave. Come back with backup, or no. This could be the only chance to stop this. Things could get worse if we leave them to whatever plots and plans they are practicing. That is a shrine to Molak Bao. That's one of the worst Daedra princes. I have very little training and skills for something like this. Memories of my cousins flood my mind, and how powerless and helpless I felt as they killed my wife and nearly killed me. Being a Vigilant of Stendarr isn't for the faint of heart. I must forge my will stronger with fires of my rage for what I've lost, and at whose terrible fiery eyes, fangs, and claws. I must continue on. I must do this for my Gozen flower. I must do this for Dawnstar. I must do this to start wounding the shadows and darkness so that more light can pour into this world.
Time to end this.
No more.
Take me?
Victory is yours. I submit. I'm going to enjoy it.
Fenrik. He was one of us. I don't believe it. If he could be turned, what then of me? The miners have come to start their day of work. I can't leave Uthgard either. Here I go, I must. No more innocent bloodshed.
I'll see you in peace.
Fenrik was a Vigilant. I'll have sad news for Carsette once I return to the Hall of the Vigilant. No one else is attacking myself nor Uthgerd and the others, so I think this was all of them. At least all that I saw around the shrine. I did manage to find that Fenrik had a journal on him, so I took that, and I examined the cult's hideout to see what else may be of importance, then prepare to head back to Carsette. Perchance now Dawnstar may rest peacefully. I may tonight rest well myself, since I managed to survive my first assignment as a Vigilant of Stendarr. I did read Fenrik's journal after putting the events of Dawnstar far behind me.
AzaRain once told me I was the strongest warrior in all of Tamriel, but that is a lie. A strong man would have ended his life long ago. He would have delivered Stendarr's justice upon his soul. I am weak man, and so I live. The Vigil teaches us that vampires are an abomination, to be destroyed without mercy. But in my cowardice, I began to entertain the blasphemous, that vampirism had a cure. Never has the subject been broached by the Keepers. After all, the very idea that these creatures were capable of salvation would threaten the principles of the Order. So to learn more, I sought the aid of the very monster I have sworn to oppose. Molag Bal's price was steep. I was to gather thralls and build an altar deep in the mines of Dawnstar, for purposes that would only become clearer as the nights went on. To that shrine, I was to sacrifice the lives of 9 of my brothers and sisters, 1 for each divine. At times my resolve has wavered, but the prince has offered proof in the form of Galur Rithari. His excerpts prove that a cure exists, through a dream of being sliced by thousands of tiny knives from my bowels inside out. As the town speaks of nightmares and the presence of Vermina, I now see why Dawnstar was chosen for this unholy vigil. With only 3 sacrifices left, the ritual is almost complete. No doubt AzaRain will see this as treachery, which is why I cannot bring myself to sacrifice him. But with every vigil that dies at our hand, it only calcifies my resolve. The weakness of my mind does not betray the strength of my will. For all my cowardice, I am worth the souls of a dozen men. If I rejoin the vigil, more lives will be saved in the end. Perhaps when the accounting is done, Stendarr will show me mercy.
Also, I would later discover that ending this, whatever the Molag Bal cult was up to, didn't end the nightmares of Dawnstar's suffering. Perhaps Carsette will have some ideas about how to deal with that, since Fenrik did mention Vermina also had a presence in Dawnstar. All in all, Fenrik sounds like me in a sense, given different choices after what happened to me and my wife. Could I be as easily corrupted? Could I join some Daedric prince if offered the opportunity to save my beloved? I want to say I'd reject any offer and stand firm against any vile Daedra corrupt creature, yet there is a little bit of me that may not stray too far off Fenrik's path. I guess we'll only know when the time comes, if it ever comes. I pray that it doesn't.